illegal immigration. It's about power. Tucker Carlson's face, once again, as he's not uncertain if he has shit his pants or not. Let's take a look. Why not? Give it to me, cuck.
I recently watched a group of protesters, most of them young, denouncing President Donald Trump's immigration policies.
Based. I love it.
They were waving Mexican flags and shouting, "Si se puede!" Yes, we can.
Yes, that's from Cesar Chavez back in the day.
This is now the rallying cry of the open borders left, but it wasn't always. In fact, I wondered if a single person at the protest knew where it came from. The slogan first became famous 50 years ago, thanks to Cesar Chavez. He was the founder of the United Farm Workers Union. When Chavez
I knew it, Tucker. Do I get points?
said, "Si se puede," he meant something very different. Yes, we can seal the borders. Cesar Chavez hated illegal immigration.
Hold on, you're already like loaded. You're giving us a lot of priming here. What was he? What was he a leader of? Say that again.
Came from. The slogan first became famous 50 years ago, thanks to Cesar Chavez. He was the founder of the United Farm Workers Union.
Ah, he's a union man. You're gonna gloss over that. What he was doing back in the day, that wasn't necessarily him fighting illegal immigration. Yeah, that was him leading a workers' strike of the farmers. Delano Grape Strike. Yes. Most notable for the effective implementation and adaptation of boycotts, unprecedented partnership between Filipino and Mexican farm workers to unionize farm labor, ding, 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 and the resulting creation of the UFW labor union, which revolutionized farm labor movement in America.
When Chavez said, "Si se puede," he meant something very different. Yes, we can seal the borders.
I don't think... Now, this is like such a bullshit. Did he say, yes, we can seal the borders? I know he was later... After the main strikes, he was against illegal immigration. I don't think he said it like this. Did he say? I have to know. That sounds like something Tucker would make up. That's funny. When I Google it, the first thing that comes up is the PragerU video. You know what happens when we Google Si se puede? You know what it's really from? It's yes, it's possible, roughly yes, we can. It's the motto of the United Farm Workers of America. Oh, it's the motto of the union. It's not the motto for him closing the borders. Tucker, you liar, you piece of shit, you buffoon. Okay, I think we've dunked on this shit long enough. Let's move on.
Cesar Chavez hated illegal immigration. He was Hispanic, obviously, and definitely on the left, but he fought to keep illegal Mexican immigrants out of
Why'd you say it like that? He was Hispanic and definitely on the left.
this country. He understood that peasants from Latin America will always
Peasants?
work for less than Americans will.
Wow, that's impressive, Tucker. Oh boy.
That's why employers prefer them. Chavez knew that. As long as we have a poor country bordering California, he once explained, it's going to be very difficult to win strikes.
Yeah, that's called scabs.
In 1969, Chavez led a march down the center of California to protest the hiring of illegal immigrant produce pickers. Marching alongside him was Democratic Senator Walter Mondale and the Reverend Ralph Abernathy, the longtime aide to Martin Luther King. 10 years later, Chavez dispatched armed...
Yeah, he's upset because employers are hiring illegal immigrants from another country, don't even really speak the language, and what are they doing? They're hiring them to replace striking union workers. Yeah, no wonder he's not going to like that. He wouldn't like that if it was anyone else that's being hired to replace striking union workers. He wouldn't like that for any other scabs. But in this case, you know, there's a whole lot of them right there. And you know what? If we go hire these people that they're coming across the border illegally, and we hire them, well, now they're also not going to be able to really understand what's going on, and they're strangers, and they're not even going to get along and understand that there's a strike going on. This is completely new to them. It's literally foreign to them.
Union members into the desert to assault Mexican nationals who were trying to sneak across the border. Chavez's men beat immigrants with chains and whips made of barbed wire. Illegal aliens who dared to work as scabs had their houses firebombed and their cars burned.
All right, I'm going to need a source. All right, here we go. Facts and sources.
You may not realize it, but you are currently funding Venezuela.
It's funny that he's defending union to attack immigration when public union, public enemy.
Yeah, the inconsistency is kind of a trademark of fascist logic. Well, that's kind of how it is. There's not actually a consistency. It just goes back and forth depending on whatever they think will win in the moment. Chavez said, "Si se puede," he was referring to closing
Tell
the
that
borders
to the people of
illegal
Venezuela.
I only speak in donations.
When Chavez said "si se puede," he was referring to closing the borders to illegal immigrants, not opening them. The first thing he did was to put a sign in the office with big letters that every worker who does not have legal residency cannot be a member of this union. All right, well, let's take a look at this. Oh, it's a National Review article. Even better. National Review is like not a trusted article. Not a trusted source. Big shout out to National Review. Literally can't read the headline of the article because the top thing bumps down here, advertising other articles. That is brilliant design. Got some real geniuses over at National Review. Okay, the only part in the article that says "si se puede" is the very bottom thing here. Can we control the border? Cesar Chavez's answer was "si se puede," yes we can. There's nothing in here about it. Brigger, you just made that shit up. Wow. God, I hate this. FBI files document Chavez's men beat illegal immigrants in Yuma, Arizona. Illegal aliens who dared to work as non-union members had their houses firebombed and cars burned. All right, well, look at this. This might be legit. We'll take a look because this is the first I've ever heard of it. Ruther.wayne.edu. It's a link to a PDF. Oh God, what even is this? Okay, let's Control F this. FBI file, September 1974, January 1975. Activities of the United Farm Workers include civil unrest following demonstration at Yuma, AZ, incidents of violence and beating of illegal immigrants at Yuma, AZ. This is your source? Are you serious, PragerU? This is your source? They just like combed the internet and found some random thing that says it? It's an EDU source. Okay, that's nice, but that doesn't mean this is legit. It says FBI files, but this isn't really helping me. All right, we're gonna say it's bullshit, I guess. Let's carry on.
Illegal aliens who dared to work as scabs had their houses firebombed and their cars burned.
I didn't see that in there, but okay.
Chavez wasn't embarrassed about any of this. He bragged about it. No matter. Chavez remains a progressive hero. President Obama declared...
Yeah, because of the labor organizing. That's still impressive.
...his birthday a commemorative federal holiday. It's an official day off in a half a dozen states. There's a college named after him and dozens of public schools. Cesar Chavez's life is a reminder of how much the left has changed and how quickly. Until recently, most Democrats agreed with Chavez. They opposed unchecked immigration.
Most Democrats still do. Wait, unchecked immigration? You were talking about illegal immigration a moment ago. Now you're changing it around?
Because they knew it hurt American workers, and they were right.
Doesn't the data on this say that immigration helps American workers overall? The only demographic that hurts is like a small range of American workers who don't have high school diplomas. Because here's another way to think of it. You know, immigrants come to America. What do? Oh, they get jobs. Oh, they start their own businesses. I think the numbers are like immigrants to America are like twice as likely to make their own business. And what do? Oh, they hire people. They employ people.
One study by a Harvard economist examined the effects of the mass migration of Cuban refugees to this
this one was different because... All right, hold on.
country in 1980, the so-called Mariel boat lift. He found that American workers in Miami with a high school education saw their wages fall by more than 30% after the refugees arrived. If you believe in supply and demand, this is not surprising.
Wasn't there also... Fidel Castro took, like, all the prisoners in their prisons and, like, people with like mental issues and whatnot and put them on boats and shipped them all north? Yeah, that is what happened. And many of the refugees had been released from jails and mental health facilities in Cuba. Now, realistically, if we had a better infrastructure ready, we could have distributed a lot of them throughout the United States, and it would be less of a shock upon the Florida, especially Miami, economies.
After the fall of Saigon in 1975, Democratic Governor Jerry Brown opposed letting Vietnamese refugees into California on the grounds that the state already had enough poor people. As he put it at the time, there's something a little strange about saying, let's bring in 500,000 more people when we can't take care of the 1 million Californians out of work.
So do you like this or do you not like this, Tucker?
First-term Senator Joe Biden of Delaware agreed. He introduced federal legislation to curb the arrival of the Vietnamese. 2 decades later, leading Democrats were still wary of mass immigration.
I mean, the end result, though, is we still took in a lot of Vietnamese refugees after the fall of Saigon and the war ended. Even with
Tell that to the people of Venezuela.
And the Venezuelans.
Do people know that we have a worker shortage?
Yeah, we do now. This video came out 4 years ago, 2018. Times change. Let's be real. Joe Biden today is not the Joe Biden he was back then. I am pleasantly surprised at what he's done. Snopes, perfect. Did Biden block giving aid and admittance to Vietnamese refugees in 1975? Let's see. Oh, it says mostly false. Uh-oh. Let's read it. In 1975, then U.S. Senator Joe Biden blocked aid to South Vietnam, did not allow admittance of the Vietnamese refugees into the United States. That is the claim, yes. What's true? Former Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld said in his biography that in 1975, President Gerald Ford tried to convince a number of senators to help refugees fleeing persecution and claimed Biden, along with other Democrats, dissented. What's false? Biden did not vote against sending financial assistance to the South Vietnamese government towards the end of the Vietnam conflict, or block either the admittance of refugees to the U.S. or the distribution of funds to help them resettle. In May 1975, he supported a bill allowing this to occur. Oh, shit. In May 1975, he supported a bill allowing this to occur. His dissent regarding Ford's initiative was taken out of context by critics, as they did not include all of Biden's concerns. He had opposed an April 1975 aid package for South Vietnam because he argued those evacuation funds could be used as military aid and should be sent through multilateral channels. The April bill ultimately died in Congress. I'm cool with this. That's a good rebuttal. And this goes on for a while. Let's just carry on, shall we?
Of mass immigration, especially illegal immigration. As Bill Clinton put it in the 1995 State of the Union address, Americans are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public services they use impose burdens on our taxpayers. No prominent Democrat would say anything like that today without...
because it's bullshit.
They took our jobs!
They took your jobs! Okay, there we go.
being denounced as a racist. Clinton got a standing ovation.
Hold on, let's hear that again.
The public services they use impose burdens on our taxpayers. No prominent Democrat would say anything like that today without being denounced as a racist. Clinton...
True, based in red pill, absolutely.
Got a standing ovation.
Yeah, because they were kind of racist.
As late as 2006, they
also, you could argue they didn't exactly have the data we have today, but fair.
Still liberals who cared about the economic effects of immigration, legal or illegal. Immigration reduces the wages of domestic workers who compete with immigrants, explained economist Paul Krugman in the New York Times. We'll need to reduce the inflow of low-skilled immigrants. Mainly that means better controls on illegal immigration. That same year, Senator Hillary Clinton voted for a fence on the Mexican border. So did...
Yeah, it's almost like they're conservatives too. How about that? Ooh, I don't know. ACLU? Immigrants in the economy. Contrary to popular belief, immigrants not take away jobs from American workers. Instead, they create new jobs, forming new businesses, spending their incomes on American goods and services, paying taxes, raising the productivity of U.S. businesses. It's one of those things that when you analyze it a little bit, suddenly the arguments against it start to fall apart. And I don't know, on some level, like, if your job gets taken away from you by an illegal immigrant who doesn't know the language and isn't really able to... Yeah, and they're just like a stranger in a foreign country, and you lost your job to them. I have to ask, like, what were you really providing at your job? Because if you were able to lose it to someone like that, like, it sounds like you really weren't providing much to begin with.
Barack Obama and Chuck Schumer and 23 other Senate Democrats.
Yep.
Not anymore. 20 years after Bill Clinton...
Yep, and of course, times change. You can't... times change. That's literally how all the politics and history goes.
Told Americans they had the right to be upset about illegal immigration. His wife scolded the country for enforcing border controls.
In World War II, we backed the Soviet Union. We gave them all sorts of equipment and stuff through the Lend-Lease program, and a lot of it was ultimately not even paid for. We gave it to them for free. And what happened, a decade later? We entered the Cold War. Times change.
So what changed? Not the economics of it. The law of supply and demand remained in effect. It's not a coincidence that as illegal immigration surged...
Shut up. Economics is more than the law of supply and demand, you dipshit. Also, that's part of it, though. Illegal, oh my god. Immigrants come here, what do? They often spend the money, they give more, they spend more money, they're more customers, and a lot of them, create their own businesses.
Remained in effect. It's not a coincidence that his illegal
You say law, supply, and demand. You're literally increasing both of them by bringing in more people, though.
immigration surged, wages for American workers stagnated. What changed?
Hey, wages for American workers have stagnated since right here in 1973. Productivity continues to go up, but wages start stagnating. Oh, did illegal immigration shoot up in the 1970s? Oh, is that what it was? Or was it just the economics and the policies implemented by the administrations started to be more favorable to those at the top?
Changed is that Democrats stopped caring about those workers, about the middle class, really. Why? Here's the answer.
Okay, I don't disagree with that, actually.
4 simple facts. 1. According to a recent study from Yale, there are at least 22 million illegal immigrants living in the United States. 2.
Okay.
Democrats plan to give all of them citizenship.
Based.
The Democrats' 2016 party plan.
I mean, let's be real. If they're living here and they're working here, and if they've been here for a while, like, come on, they are American. Now, does that necessarily mean citizenship? I don't know. You know, citizenship is a legal process you got to go through, and citizenship means you get certain rights, like you can vote and all that. Does that mean every one of them should get citizenship? I don't know about that. But does that mean they should have? But should we allow them to have legal residency? Yeah, I can get behind that.
Platform. 3. Studies show the overwhelming majority of first-time immigrant voters vote Democrat.
Yeah. Hey, that kind of goes with the previous point, doesn't it? If you're like an illegal immigrant in a country and then there's 2 major parties and one of them says, yeah, you know what? I think we should consider a path to citizenship for these people. And the other one says, I want to deport them back to Venezuela. Who are you going to vote for? You're going to vote for the one that's, treating you like a human being, not cattle.
4. The biggest landslide in American presidential history was only 17 million votes. Do the math. The payoff for Democrats? Permanent electoral majority for the foreseeable future.
As it is right now, it looks like it's gonna be like that. Hey, wow, what's that? Will we let people vote? Republicans tend to lose. Should it be the Republicans should change their policies to get more voters, or should we just, I don't know, stop people from voting and from having the right to vote?
Power. That's the point, no matter.
If you guys just, if you adopted this policy and just said, yeah, you know what, we're going to consider giving these people the right to vote too. If the Republicans said that, they'd win. You know how many of these Latino voters, trend socially conservative? I don't actually know. A lot of them do. But you haven't even tried. And this is the same rhetoric that's been going on for the last 20 years.
Or what they tell you. American workers be damned.
You said, si se puede, we can close the border. Why don't you just say, si se puede, you can vote Republican and have lower taxes? Then you'd win. God, they're so bad at even appealing to people. Oh my God, it's Tucker. It's him. Run for your lives.
I'm Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, we know.
Thank you for watching this video. To help keep PragerU videos free, please consider making a tax-deductible donation.
What? You want a donation? You want a handout? Like some freeload liberal? Get out of here. Hi. Sorry I was a little late this month. Life happens. Here. I would like to thank the November patron backers, starting with ASU Asian Woman, Benjamin Kessler, Boris Lowe, Ian Diaby, Here Comes the Rat, James Paul, Jai Polamo, Jenna Sweet, Lionel, and Mellow Cheddar.